What's good, peeps? What is good? All right, do me a favor, please. Hit that subscribe button as I have a sip of my Courvoisier. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, I've not filmed for a couple of days just because, to be fair, there's not been much to talk about. Plus, I've been doing a couple of other things for the channel. I did say that I'm going to start interviewing people. I spoke to the great Andy Cole yesterday. I'm going to put that video up probably end of the week, Friday or Saturday. It was a good, nearly an hour long sit down with him. Told me a lot of things that I didn't know, and I've worked with Andy Cole now for a couple of months. So yeah, it was good to hear from the great man. That video is going to be up Friday or Saturday. All right, what has happened in the world of boxing? What have we got? Let's have a look. Joseph Parker will head to the UK to use Andy Lee as trainer. There was a lot of conversation as to who Joseph Parker is going to turn to. Obviously, look, he's split from Kevin Barry. A lot of people are speculating that that split was already kind of pre-known before the fight with Junior Farr, possibly, because it did come straight after the fight. So I wouldn't be shocked if there always was something in the background like this is going to be our last fight together. But yeah, Andy Lee as a trainer. I wonder if that's come from Tyson Fury. He is good friends with Tyson Fury, regardless of the fact that he fought Tyson Fury's cousin Huey. They have been good friends. They do speak a lot. And obviously Andy Lee is part of Tyson Fury's camp. So yeah, doesn't come as a surprise. I like Andy Lee, by the way. I think Andy Lee, I don't know about Andy Lee's capabilities as a trainer yet. But just as a boxing person, I think Andy Lee is fantastic. Great guy as well. Spoken to him in the past. Great guy. And hopefully he can put some aggression into Joseph Parker. I really do hope so. I was speaking to Rob Tebbett from Boxing Social. I done the Boxing Social podcast today. And we were speaking for a long time about Joseph Parker. And just like, what's the want now with Joseph Parker? He's become world champion, right? He's made some good money. He's been in some massive, massive fights. I mean, AJ in front of, what was it, nearly 80,000. That's doesn't get bigger than that, really, does it? Then had the Dillian White one. He's had this one now with Junior Farr in New Zealand, which was one of the, we're hearing in terms of their numbers, the biggest fight in New Zealand ever, like eclipsed David Tua versus Shane Cameron. So what's the want right now? He's got a wonderful wife, a couple of kids. Maybe he just doesn't want it the way we want him to want it. But look, he's hooked up with Andy Lee. And maybe this is just kind of the last hurrah. Like, if he can't get past Derek Chisora, then I think that could be that for Joseph Parker. I expect him to get past Chisora, but then what after? You know what I mean? Like, will he want to fight like the winner of Hrgovic Hunter? Will he want to fight the winner of, and I don't even know if this fight's even happening right now, Usyk Joe Joyce, if it's not for a world title? I think his want is going to be to fight for a world title one more time. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's that guy anymore, if I'm honest with you. But look, I like the Andy Lee link up, and let's just see where it goes. One thing I do know is that we are going to see Joseph Parker, Chisora. Like, of all the heavyweight fights that I kind of still have question marks around, Joseph Parker, Chisora isn't one of them. It will probably be on pay. Well, not probably. It will definitely be on pay-per-view. For me, it's not a pay-per-view attraction at all. At all. I mean, I love Chisora. I can't say a bad word about him, but the facts are the facts. Chisora's lost 10 times, and he's coming off a loss. And he's going to fight Parker, who's coming off a awful performance against Junior Farr. You can't sell that to me as pay-per-view. Do you know what I mean? You can't, no matter how you stack the card. Sorry. There's nothing they can put on that card. I mean, Joseph Parker versus Chisora is a very good chief support on something else. Like, if Joseph Parker versus Chisora was, look, and I know it's not going to happen, I'm just saying hypothetically, on the undercard of the rematch between Povetkin versus White, okay. But to headline a pay-per-view, no. No. But anyway, that's moving away from the fact that Joseph Parker is now with Andy Lee. What do you guys make of it? I like it. Andy Lee was quite an aggressive fighter, right? So if that's how we train these fighters, then we might see a bit more aggression out of Joseph Parker, which isn't a bad thing. You know what, let me quickly put that down. I saw Mike Coppinger tweet today about obviously the fight that's going to happen next for Devin Haney is Jorge Linares, although it should have been Fortuna, but we're not even going to get into that. I'm not going to bore you with why it should be Fortuna. I haven't got time for that. What I did see is that he revealed the amount of money each fighter is getting paid. So he's saying that Devin Haney is set to earn $3 million. And Jorge Linares, wait, no, it doesn't say Linares' money. 1 second, does it? No, it basically says that he's set to earn $3 million and that he earned $2 million for his fight against Yuriorkis Gamboa, which is, look, get your money. If you can get that kind of money, get your money. That does shock me, and that makes me feel like, as much as we want these fights between these four, good luck. If that's the kind of money Devin Haney is getting paid for Gamboa and for Jorge Linares, how much is he going to want? How much are they all going to want to fight each other? They're all going to want 8 figures and more. So when I say 8 figures, 10 million, but I say and more, like 11, 12. If that's what he's getting for Jorge Linares, what do you have to put on the table for him to say, okay, I want to fight Tio? As much as they all say they want to fight each other, and I do genuinely believe they all want to fight each other, they all want to get paid as well. I mean, we might see a situation where they all just price each other out of fighting each other, because we're not talking, they're not huge fights yet. I think the biggest fight out of all of them in the combination, probably Javonte Ryan, but it's either Javonte Ryan or Javonte Tio. But again, I don't know if those fights generate the kind of money that they're going to want. I don't know. And seeing that kind of money, again, this is no hate on Devin, by the way. Get your money. Said this before. Go out and get, if someone's willing to pay you $3 million, get it. But I just find it a huge amount of money for Jorge Linares. I love the fight, by the way. I think if Linares can, I know Linares has been up to 140. I know he's been stopped, what, about a year ago, year and a half ago. No, actually, because of COVID, maybe about 2 years ago. It's clearly not the Linares that fought Kevin Mitchell or the Linares that fought Loma. That Linares there, the Loma Linares was as sharp as it gets. Ain't that guy anymore. But I still think he's got enough experience and enough pop to cause Devin problems. I think he still has. But yeah, that surprised me, by the way, about Devin's money. Another fighter moving training. This one came as a bit of a surprise for me. Didn't expect it, didn't know about it. And that's Joshua Buatsi. He's linked up with Virgil Hunter, obviously Andre Ward's former trainer. Virgil Hunter also trains Tony Yoka. It's an interesting link up that. I wonder what that says about what, like, how good we think the British trainers are, that Buatsi has to go over to. And look, Virgil Hunter, by the way, is an elite level trainer. But I mean, again, what does it say about the level of trainers that we've got over here now that Joshua Buatsi has to go over to America and link up with a trainer? Are the trainers here elite? Like, out of all the trainers here, which ones would you say are elite level trainers on the level of a Virgil Hunter, say? Who? I mean, I know some people will chuck out some names like, is Rob McCracken an elite level trainer? Is he? You know, is Adam Booth an elite level trainer? Dave Cole, are these elite level trainers? Joe Gallagher? Like, if they are, why has Buatsi decided to go pack his bags and go to America to train with Virgil Hunter? I don't mind the move. I like the move, especially if Andre Ward's floating around as well. I mean, some fucking brains there to pick from. Some very, very good brains to pick from. I like it. I do wonder how the decision came about. Look, his last fight was a tough one. I think we all underestimated his opponent. What was that guy's name again? I certainly underestimated him. I'll tell you that now. Buatsi obviously got the bad eye from it. Marco Kalik. When was that? October 2020. Got the decision, right? I mean, stopped him, but it was a tough night at the office. Look, it's a good decision, I think. I mean, if you can get the opportunity to go and train with one of these top American trainers and be in a camp with other great fighters as well, other people in and around that camp, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. And I think Virgil will like someone like a Joshua Buatsi, someone that is really fixed and focused on the game. Some might say very similar to Andre Ward in terms of his mindset. I've always said that for me, Buatsi just reminds me of a throwback fighter. There is no glitz and glamour with Buatsi. He just doesn't, he doesn't talk as much. Like some people might accuse him of not selling a fight, but I don't mind that sometimes. He just goes in there and it's all focused, all jobs. So he's always on his job, sorry. And I think Virgil Hunter will appreciate that. So yeah, again, interesting to see him not link up with another British trainer. Very interesting. Clarissa Shields, I want at least 1 million to lose my butt. I don't understand this. I need to read that a bit better. But that's what this says. Moved down to 147 to fight Katie Taylor. But I kind of know the crux of this story. So she's asking for good money for Eddie to make Savannah Marshall. I think she asked for something like $750,000 for that fight, right? I mean, pay me, she's saying. I think Eddie should put that fight on, like, I was going to say put it on the undercard of AJ Fury. I don't know what the fuck is going on with AJ Fury. But yeah, she wants that, or she's talking about going to 147 to fight Katie Taylor. 147, look, that's the lowest Clarissa can go. Remember, Clarissa's fought at super middleweight. Katie Taylor's not going to make 147. Katie Taylor's small. So that's not going to happen. So forget the Katie Taylor fight. It is literally Savannah Marshall or bust. And what I mean by bust is it's Savannah Marshall or MMA. Or if they can somehow get Amanda Nunes to agree to come over and fight her. But even Amanda Nunes tops out in the UFC at 145 pounds. Amanda Nunes is small. Like big for UFC, because that's the highest weight class they have in the UFC, but small for boxing. So, boy, I don't know what Clarissa Shields is going to do, man. Because that last fight against that opponent, what was her name again? The French-Canadian was, yeah, the least we talk about that fight, the better. Saunders here saying that Canelo Yildirim was embarrassing. Yeah, it was. I don't think we need to even talk about that. It was 50 years yesterday, wasn't it? Yesterday, I'm filming this Tuesday. This will be out on Wednesday morning. But it was 50 years Monday that fight of the century happened. The fight, Ali versus Frazier, won, 2 unbeaten heavyweights. I mean, I was listening to a piece of audio from Colin Hart, who's almost like the voice of British boxing. And he was talking about like even the press accreditation. You know, like you get press accreditation now and it's kind of a badge, right? I've got so many in that drawer, by the way. Back then it was a hat. They gave you a hat and he said he's still got the hat. 50 years on, he's still got the hat, which was everyone has to wear, every press member had to wear a hat. Crazy. He said people, like theatres were sold out. You think about that now, you don't really get that. I mean, I think it did happen with Mayweather, Pac-Man, where they put the fight on in theatres as well. It kind of does happen sometimes, but theatres were sold out. It's crazy. It's crazy. 2 people died. I'm not laughing, it's not even a joke. 2 people died of a heart attack watching that fight, like who were in Madison Square Garden at the time. Obviously, they would go on to fight twice more. Muhammad Ali would win both of those fights. But yeah, nothing. I don't think anything compares to that. Not anything. Again, 2 unbeaten. 2 unbeaten heavyweights at the time. Yes, Muhammad Ali was coming out of exile, but he had 2 fights. I think some people don't really remember like things. So like, some people think he came out of exile and fought Joe Frazier. It's not how it was. He came out of exile, got his license back, had 2 fights, and then fought Joe Frazier. Still, I mean, just saying, just because some people seem to think, or in their heads, somehow they think that he just literally came out of exile and fought Joe. Didn't happen like that. What else we got? Pacquiao. I'm leaning to Mikey Garcia, although Crawford is not ruled out. So it's going to be Mikey then. Yeah, Mikey. I don't mind. I still want to know what's going on with Crawford, though. Yeah. Boxing. Fuck Crawford. What's going on with AJ Fury? Ain't happening, is it? Like, I've literally gone from 90%, 95, 99. I didn't think I said 1 trillion the other day. Now I'm like, ain't happening. Ain't happening. Not next, anyway. I'll tell you, I don't think it's going to happen next. I still think Wilder could be an issue. CRB might fucking say, I told you so. Yeah, he's right. Wilder's an issue, you know. Anthony Yildirim vows to bounce back after Canelo loss. Eyes may return. It's okay. We're cool. We don't need to see you again, my friend. Not yet, anyway. Can't get that out of my head yet. So, yeah. You stay there. Gervonta Davis. Sorry, this isn't there, but I just realised Gervonta Davis is coming back and having a fight at 140, innit? What have I heard? Yeah, Barrios. Is he mad? I'm sorry. That is a tough fight for Gervonta. I know what people are like. Don't sleep. Like, Barrios big, you know. Barrios is big. He's unbeaten. Okay. And that's why there's a lot of talk now about if he beats Barrios, although it's for a regular belt. Barrios has a regular belt at 140, obviously, because we know who has all the belts at 140. They're talking about him fighting Prograis after. Now, that's the rumours. I don't think they're going to do that fight. I think he'll go back down to 130, 35 possibly. But, Barrios for Gervonta Davis. Man. And Barrios can crack a bit as well, you know. Boy. Gary Russell Jr., Ray Vargas have agreed to terms for a featherweight title fight. That's according to the WBC. Anything else that we got? I think. Oh, shit. Scott Fitzgerald to return. April 10th on the Ben Vargas card. That's good to hear because I know there was some issues, so many issues outside of the ring. So it's good to hear that he's returning. Again, for people like him, I like Scott Fitzgerald, by the way. The best place for him to be is in the ring. Because if he's not in the ring, then, anything could be happening. Anything. Hearn on Canelo Saunders will insist on one British judge. We need neutral panel. I don't think you should even have to insist on it. That should be a given. Like, it should be literally, like, it should be a neutral judging panel. It shouldn't even be one British or one Mexican. It should be like one fucking, well, it doesn't even matter where they're from, does it, to be honest. I mean, all it takes is a couple of bags of money under the table. What else we got here? I think that could be it. Joel Diaz receiving death threats over Yildirim's loss to Canelo. Boy. Jeez. Right, that's it. That's it. I'm a bit tired. I wonder about the state of British boxing, you know. And sometimes I kind of like, just what's going on with British boxing? I don't know. Anyway, guys, peace and love.